Hi there, that's right, Nick Dutch back on the camera again one more time, still continuing with our little series on this wonderful book, Explaining the Unexplained Mysteries of the Paranormal, which is still a title which makes me cringe, but on the other hand, the pedigree of the authors, being Eyesenck and Sargent, has, maintained my interest. The book has explained quite nicely the kind of person that you need to be, essentially, in order to make it more likely you're going to be able to have ESP type experiences or psi type experiences. There was mention in a previous video of the sheep-goat effect, which is when there's a type of individual who's a believer as opposed to the type of individual who's not a believer, and the non-believers typically score below average and statistically significantly below average, and those who are within the other category, the sheep category, they statistically significantly score above the average mark. Next, there's a discovery, so to speak, that extroverts perform much better than introverts, and there's a hypothesis that introverts may in fact have a much more active brain that's busy on too many other tasks for them to be able to experience psi-type phenomena. There's also been a mention of different societal and situational factors which can also affect the quality of the results. But there's also, at the time of writing this book, 1993, insufficient evidence to suppose that tribal primitives are any better than Westerners at actually being able to reproduce psi-type phenomena, or ESP. And also, the females aren't superior in psi to males. So there's insufficient evidence on that side of things as well. I mean, we've all heard the folk myth that women are natural magicians or natural psychics, because they're always receiving, but this is, according to the book, regarded as being just a gender stereotype, and there is insufficient evidence in all of the recorded experiments that have been done in the history of parapsychology, which is of course about 60 years old at the time of writing this book, okay, to be able to confirm that particular theory. So essentially your ideal subject, if you're out there somewhere, you should be, or it is requested that you be, or in an ideal world you would be, a non-neurotic extrovert who believes in psi phenomena. Okay, so if you're obviously that type of person, get yourself some ESP cards and play about, get yourself a couple of random number generators and see what fun you can have with that, if you want, okay? Now the book's moving further on to the 1960s, in which research was started into altered states of consciousness as a result of various reports from people of ESP type phenomena occurring through hypnosis, dreams, drug-induced states, meditation, and yoga type practices. And apparently 50% of reported spontaneous ESP happens when the receivers are asleep. And this started, or prompted, research by a geezer called Kleitman into REM sleep. That's REM, being rapid eye movement, which is the type of sleep you get for the dream state. This was discovered when people were woken up, when the eyes were going loopy, okay, and they could report back the dreams they had at a much more reliably than when people were woken up at other times in their sleep cycle. So the REM, rapid eye movement state, is the state of dream. Now, from that we get the work of Ullman, who worked on dream telepathy experiments. This was set up in quite a curious way, because there would be a receiver and there would be a sender, and the sender would be given an image which would be like a painting, which would be selected by a random number generator, and when the receiver is in the REM, rapid eye movement sleep stage, then the sender would try and telepathically send an image of that particular picture. When the REM dreaming receiver was then woken up, the REM dreaming receiver would have to recant what the dream was about, and then some independent individuals would then listen to a recording of this and try and work out which out of all these various different pictures that they're given best fits, and put them in a rank of this one's best fit, this one's next fit, and all the rest of that. Now, the results from those experiments led to a result which is statistically above average of 1,000 to 1. Alright, So that's again statistically significant.